Here's why the anime industry felt confident. By late 2025, it had the most organized resistance to AI of any creative field. Written no AI policies, 18 publishers backing a formal government demand, a legal coalition of 26 voice actors, including the voice of Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. The line was holding. So here's what I kept running into. If the organized resistance is what's working, the policies, the lawsuits, the government demands, then why did the studio that made Attack on Titan spend 6 weeks manually redrawing AI-generated backgrounds that nobody at that studio had officially approved? Why did the largest anime publisher on the planet say, "We never authorized this," about AI-dubbed episodes already streaming on Amazon? If the institutions are the effective check, those incidents don't happen. Both did. Which means something about how this actually works is wrong. The evidence for the institutional resistance is genuinely strong. In October 2025, 18 Japanese publishers, Kadokawa, Kodansha, Shogakukan, Square Enix, issued a joint demand to OpenAI. Stop training Sora 2 on our content without permission. The Japanese government formally backed that demand. A government minister called anime and manga irreplaceable treasures, and Japan officially requested OpenAI not engage in copyright infringement. 26 voice actors organized a formal legal coalition, including the man who has voiced Frieza in Dragon Ball Z for decades. Their press statement: "Our voices are our livelihoods. They are our lives." The industry organizing to fight carries real leverage. The global anime market hit a record $25.1 billion in 2024, growing 14.8% in a single year, the second highest annual growth rate ever recorded. The overseas market, now larger than Japan's domestic market, grew 26%. When a $25 billion industry sends a joint statement to OpenAI, that is not a niche dispute. I went looking for how fans identified the AI frames in the Wit Studio Bookworm opening. This was April 2026, the incident everyone pointed to as the turning point. I expected to find someone with a technical detection workflow, frame analysis tools, comparison software. What I found was fan threads from the first day of broadcast, no specialized equipment. They watched a 3-minute opening, first time through, as ordinary viewers, and it looked wrong. You know the feeling. Something technically fine, but off in a way you can't quite name. The organized resistance is real, but every piece of it is reactive. The government demand came after Sora 2 launched. The voice actor coalition formed after voices were already being sold unauthorized online. The written policies exist, but only mean something when a violation gets caught. The resistance assumes the industry is doing the catching. It turns out someone is, just not who organized for it. Here's the catch. Wit Studio had one of those written policies, a formal, public, documented, no AI position. And in April 2026, AI-generated backgrounds shipped in their show anyway. Not because the studio decided to use AI, it leaked through. AI isn't being chosen by studios. It's seeping through authorization gaps the organized resistance wasn't designed to close. Wit's AI didn't come from a policy decision. The studio confirmed it came from inadequacies in production management. Nobody at Wit greenlit it. The backgrounds were generated somewhere in the production chain, and nobody caught them before you watched them. Amazon did something structurally similar, but further up the distribution layer. In late 2025, Amazon Prime Video quietly listed AI-generated English dub options for at least 5 anime titles, including Banana Fish. The label read, "English AI Beta." Presumably, the beta refers to the listener experience, not the authorization process. Kadokawa, which holds the rights to Banana Fish, stated it had not approved AI dubs in any form. HiDive, the streaming platform also involved with several of those titles, said it was unaware in advance. Voice actor Damon Mills made the stakes plain. Using AI for a dub of a show that released nearly 8 years ago and had no rushed schedule just spits in our faces. The National Association of Voice Actors called the dubs AI slop. Amazon pulled all of them within days. I tracked down both versions of the Wit Bookworm opening, the original broadcast and the redrawn replacement swapped in from episode 2. I watched them back to back. The difference is visible once you know to look. The AI backgrounds have a compositional smoothness that doesn't match the hand-drawn character animation. The depth relationships are off in a specific way, but fans found this by watching it once, as ordinary viewers, before any of it was public. You would have caught it too. The question is just whether you would have known what you were catching. Here's where we actually are. AI is showing up in shows whose studios have explicit written policies against it. It's streaming on titles whose rights holders say they never approved it. The legal coalition that organized to fight hasn't stopped a single one of these incidents. What stopped them? Every time. Was the audience reacting. And if that's right, then the thing actually keeping AI out of the anime you watch isn't the policy or the lawyers. It's you, which means the stakes here just changed. Here's the specific answer to the question this episode opened with. Why are studios reversing course? Organized institutional resistance. Audience detection is the economic check, not the policies, not legal threat, not the government demand. The audience. Wit Studio, the studio behind Attack on Titan, ate a 6-week DVD delay and a full redraw of every AI-generated frame in the Bookworm opening. Not because their written policy required it, because the math was clear. Getting caught cost more than fixing it. Their policy existed before the incident. It didn't prevent the incident. The audience caught it first. Amazon pulled all AI dubs within days of fan and media reaction. Kadokawa's legal position, that it had not approved AI dubs in any form, arrived after the removal, not before. Damon Mill's statement about the banana fish dub landed in international coverage because the audience amplified it. The institutional response followed what the audience had already forced. In May 2025, Toei Animation, Japan's largest anime studio behind One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Sailor Moon, released a financial presentation that included plans to use AI for in-between animation, coloring, and background generation. In-between animation is the frame-by-frame work that connects keyframes, the entry-level craft that trains every animator who moves up. The presentation illustrated these plans with Precure character examples. Fan and animator backlash was immediate and international. Toei removed the Precure examples and clarified it was not currently using AI for those processes, but left the FY 2026 AI plans intact in its financial outlook. The plans stayed in the document, but the examples came down. Being publicly seen as the studio running Precure through an image generator was a reputational cost Toei couldn't hold at that moment. By May 2026, the fight had reached court. The voice of Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh!, Kenjiro Suda, filed what's believed to be Japan's first lawsuit against a platform for unauthorized generative AI use of a celebrity's voice. One TikTok account had accumulated over 210,000 followers from impersonating Suda's voice, generating an estimated 500,000 yen to 750,000 yen per month in creator revenue. The scale of the harm was legible precisely because the audience was there to measure it. Every reversal follows the same sequence. Fan detection first. Corporate response second. The written policies existed before each incident, but they did not prevent the incidents. The audience prevented each reversal from being permanent. The feeling you get when something in a piece of media looks wrong, technically fine, but something's off, isn't just an aesthetic preference. In anime right now, it's functioning as an economic mechanism. Studios are making financially painful reversals, delayed DVDs, pulled catalog dubs, redrawn sequences, in direct response to that collective gut signal. The most legally sophisticated industry-level resistance in any creative field is running in parallel with the simplest possible enforcement. A viewer watching a 3-minute opening and thinking, that looks off. The institutional layer, real as it is, has not been what stops these incidents. The voice actor coalition is fighting. The government demand exists. The lawsuits are filed, but they haven't prevented a single one of these cases. They've responded after the audience already had. If you've watched something and felt that off signal and dismissed it as personal taste, you've opted out of the only enforcement mechanism that's actually been working. The institutional machinery is real. It just hasn't been the thing that stops anything. If I were paying attention to this from inside any creative industry right now, here's what I'd watch for. Every time a studio or platform reverses course on an AI decision, trace what triggered it. It won't be the policy. It'll be the audience reaction. The day that pattern breaks, the day a studio holds its AI decision despite clear audience backlash, is the day the math changed. Until then, you're the check. The 26 voice actors, the 18 publishers, the government demand, the written no AI policies at the major studios. All of it assembled to hold the line, and the line is holding. But not because of the policies, not because of the lawsuits, not because of the government demand. The line is held by the person who watched the opening of a show and thought, something's wrong here. That's the check. That was always going to be the check. That's the memo. Reid.